push the button.
The
button is pushed, and we are into the full-on therapy pod, episode 25 of series 2 of the Ladies Wot Pod. When I was going to say limped home. No, we've marched home from Bordeaux, ready to give you a down to earth pod to cheer you up. That's down to earth and cheering you up. That's what we do. So, who are we to do that? Mrs. J, you go first.
I am Mrs. J. Yes, that's true. I'm Claire Jones, and I wear a red hat and a purple bib of power.
Bib of power.
A purple bib of power. More of that shortly. I live
on
the dreary edge of the fens in Cambridgeshire, and I'm normally seen with a camera stuck to my face. And you are Mrs. S?
I am Lis Saunders, and I am what am I? Oh, I'm chairman of the Saints Support. Chairman of the Saints. I'm very tired. Chairman of the Saints Supporters Club and general rugby busybody and know-all. Really, I think that sums it up. And I live in South Northants, where it's very grey today, very miserable, but warmer than it has been. So that's something, I suppose.
Much warmer. Much warmer.
So, let's start with breaking news.
Breaking news.
Do we need a little ticker-tape thing?
Sound.
Don't think anybody
have to work on that. Yeah.
So we'll just do a roundup. The most breaking news is this morning. It is Tuesday. The club have announced that we are keeping a prop in Luke Green, the lovely Luke Green. Ever such a nice man.
He is. Well-travelled.
Well-travelled. Yes. Yes, very well-travelled.
Irish. He went to San Diego Legion. He was supposed to come back to us, and it all got complicated. But anyway, he's here now. Well, no, he's been here a while, and he's a cracking young player, and I'm really chuffed that he's staying.
And very young as well. Still very young.
Oh,
he's
in prop terms,
25 or something ridiculous.
Baby in arms.
Baby, yeah.
Yes.
So, and talking about mere babes in arms, last week we signed our youthful and ridiculously bouncy hooker, Craig Wright. He of the ever-changing hairstyle and beard and moustache.
Yes. Oh, it's quite severe at the minute, isn't it?
It is, it is. And a lovely singing voice. He has a lovely singing voice.
Well, yes, you mentioned that. Yes.
Yeah.
So
well done to those two. Yeah. But we had sad news, very sad news last week that Elliot Millimills will be taking his little poo-type songs up to Newcastle, along with Sammy Graham. So they're both going up north, and we understand it completely. We're very sad, and I don't think either of them made the decision lightly, but there comes a point in your career where the mortgage is going to be paid. You get more of a chance to play, and it is what it is, and we wish them well.
We do.
And
as I hugged Elliot after the game, because he had an excellent second half when he came on, as I hugged Elliot, as did Sammy G, I whispered in his ear, if they don't effing look after you, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, the language, but that was, Elliot was a bit surprised when I swore, they will have the Ladies Wot to deal with, because we'll be up the A1 before you know it to have a word and sort them out. And I uttered almost the same words. I was a bit more polite with Sam, actually, to Sam, to say, we're not having any of this. If they don't look after you, if they don't appreciate you, they'll have the Ladies Wot to deal with.
Let us know, and we'll be there to sort it out.
So
it's interesting.
You warned.
Just you saying that. I had a conversation with a lady in the queue waiting to be searched to go into the stadium, and she was saying about Henry, and she said, I don't know about you. She said, I know he's properly grown up and everything, but when they get on his back, I get ever so mum, ever so defensive, and I feel like I just stop that. That's our boy. And she said they really ought to worry, because if they do anything to him, there's going to be an army of mums ready to batter them. And I went, do you know, that is so true, though, isn't it? It is so true that
this army of mothers.
Yeah. So just to let you know, Hester, we've all got your back. Actually, we probably care more than you do, because you just roll your eyes because you know what he's capable of. So
yes, bless him.
Yeah. So that we love them dearly, and we say we wish Elliot and Sammy all the best, apart from 2 fixtures a year.
Well, and if we play them in the Prem Rugby Cup, they're playing. But yes,
yeah. But yes,
what I would also say is we had breaking news about the under-20s as well, didn't we?
We have, yes, yeah. So we
have a training squad and a host of saints.
The academy continues to provide. So we've got 6 young saints going off to the under-20 training squad. Young Johnny Wyman, Sonny Tonga. I am so pleased about that for him, because he's worked so hard at Bedford. James Pater, Aidan Ainsworth Cave, Henry Lumley, and Ollie Scholar. And I think we've seen him. Ollie! Oh, is he not now being formal and being Oliver? Did I see him?
He's got all formal, but sorry, no. In my archive of a lot of photos of Saints players, he's Ollie. I'm not changing it to Oliver.
Anyway, so they're all under 20s in the training squad. So we'll see how many of them get into the playing squad. Quite a few, I would think.
Yeah.
Right. Moving on to the weekend. So Bordeaux. We went on Thursday night. You came Friday. Friday was the popular day for travel, which was fraught with difficulty, potentially, because of storm. What was it called? Guretti.
Mm-hmm.
A strange name for a storm. And people, Birmingham Airport and East Midlands Airport were closed for a while on Friday, but people seemed to manage to battle through the storms and get there. There was a lot of black, green and gold around the city, wasn't there? It was
huge amounts, and a lot of black, green and gold on various transport. So when I Eurostarred, and there were quite a few supporters heading down there on Friday. The Eurostar seemed to get over its little hiccup earlier in the week, although we did have a bit of fun because we had a broken window.
You had a broken window, yeah.
And broken windows became a bit of a feature, because we had a broken window, which meant we couldn't go as quickly as you normally would on a Eurostar. But then we thought we'd hit something, so we had to sit in a siding in Calais. That was exciting. Not. So a competent person could allow the train driver to do an inspection. 50 minutes delay, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. So we missed our connection. But little did we know, RTGV, I have to say, SNCF are brilliant. We just got on the next train and they were wonderful. But the people who got on the train after that, they had a broken window. Who knew?
They had a broken window as well.
Yeah, they had to go back to Paris, so and get on a different train. So it was. But we all got there, and as you say, Liz, Bordeaux was awash with Saints supporters. There were a lot, huge travelling sport, which, as you said, pointed out, given getting older tickets was a premium.
Yeah,
it
wasn't easy
to everybody concerned.
And I was going to say, the frog and roast beef on a Saturday, where Graham and Lenny did the Saint show from, was overfull. There was a spillover into the Sweeney Todd opposite, apparently, where people just couldn't get in the door. And I have to say, hats off to you, Saints supporters. So first of all, we drank them out of Bordeaux, because we like that. We go places, we want to drink the local brew. We drank that. So people were having to drink Côte d'Rône. And then we drank that. There was no red wine to be had in the frog and roast beef on Saturday. So, well, I presume somebody had to go and do an emergency run to Carrefour or someone. So,
I think
so
so.
well done.
And also, it's one of those weekends when we bumped into loads of people. So we're not going to do shout outs of individuals because there were just too many to mention. We'll be doing, I don't know if you've seen one of those YouTubers who put, and here are all the people that, have been involved in the making of this video, and it goes on for about 3 months. There were loads of you. It was lovely to meet everybody. It was lovely, everybody saying kind words about the pod and photos and the Saint Sports Club and everything. So you know who you are. And we had dinner with some of them, Ian. Oh, God, it's a shout out. Anyway, and... but yeah, it was lovely to meet everybody, and then we were. Then Media Tartary took over, didn't it, Liz?
Well, yeah, Media Tartary. Well, it started on Friday morning.
Started at the frog roast.
No, before then, it started with me on Annabelle's show on Friday morning.
I'm just an amateur when it comes to Media Tartary.
Yeah, and then Lenny Graham. I don't think Lenny found anybody out. He just stayed in the corner while greeting people and drinking, I think. So Graham was wandering around with his microphone and found the two of us and had a chat. And thank you for mentioning the pod.
Thank you,
Ladies
Graham.
Wot Lunch.
Pod. Yeah.
Ladies Wot Lunch Pod, I think was what he said.
Right, then he got it wrong, but yes, never mind. Yeah. There you go.
So that was lovely. So we had a quick chat with Graham, and then I did Media Tartary from a tram yesterday morning, along with Marianne Avery as well. She'd done her bit to Annabelle from the same tram. The tram was very slow yesterday. So that's the Media Tartary over and done with.
The frog and roast beef was fun. As you say, it was rammed. And we escaped. Wasn't it the contrast between the two locations? The rammed frog and roast beef, and then the remarkably, well, I don't know how to explain, voila. It was...
laid back and intimate, I feel. Laid back and intimate.
It's like sitting in someone's living room, just having a lovely bottle of wine and lots of... assiettes, as they were known. So a lot of cheese and a lot of charcuterie and a lot of bread. And we just chatted away quite merrily, didn't we?
It was very good. Yeah.
The other place we need to mention is the Houses of Parliament. Now, we don't mean the Houses of Parliament, as in Westminster.
No, we don't. We mean it was a bar called the House of Parliament. It became known as the Bedford Bar to us because they got all the Bedford ales on, like Genesis, and we found it on Friday afternoon when we met up with some of the young people from the community team and fell in there, and it got a Saints rugby shirt from the early 2000s.
Yeah. Bedford team shot and the big thing about Charles Wells, and it was all very Yes.
It was very interesting. So.
And all of this, I mean, what we all learned pretty quickly is Bordeaux is a very compact city and everything. Yes, there are trams, but you can actually walk to a lot of places and awash with restaurants and fountains.
Oh, God. Fountains. Most of them turned off, but fortunately.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city, and I would like actually to go when the temperature's slightly warmer than and it has amazing capacity for rain and then sunshine.
Yes, the weather passed over very quickly. I must admit, I'd forgotten that we had a holiday in Bordeaux. We stayed in a little town outside of Bordeaux city itself, and the rain was absolutely biblical. It was in May, and it was turned the road into a river very quickly. But then, as you say, dried up just as quickly and was bright sunshine again. So
yes,
I think it's probably to do with being so close to the Atlantic that these things happen.
And anyone who's played golf in Scotland will have gone through the thing where it's bright sunshine where you're standing, and there's a deluge happening about 20 metres in front of you. And we had that happen several times when we were wandering around the city.
Yeah.
But yes, so Bordeaux, the place, very nice.
Fantastic.
Very nice. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So Sunday, it was a late kickoff. It was a weird kickoff time at 4:15 local time.
Yes, local time. Yeah. Yeah, those of you watching at home, it wasn't a weird kickoff time,
No,
but it was for us.
Yeah, it was for us. It was 4:15. Getting there was an absolute, breeze, because you just jumped on a tram and 15 minutes later, you were outside the stadium. So
Can I just I do want to give a shout out to the Café Le Too Much and Le Rond Point that opened up, especially on a Sunday. Our Ewan from the Saint Supporters Club Committee had been in touch with them, and they opened up especially and did menus especially, and I think they probably made a mint because they looked very active when we went.
It looked very busy. Yes, it looked very busy. The stadium. Let's talk about the stadium.
I think when it was built, it was probably state of the art, and it was quite artistic in parts.
It was a velodrome when it was built. It wasn't actually initially it was used as a velodrome. And I'll talk about the tunnel in a minute, because I learnt the history of the whole place as I trundled up and down it. It never actually hosted the Olympics, so some of you will have seen Olympic rings. It never actually hosted any Olympic sport. Thank you, Liz Tyler, for this factoid. I did not know that. She explained. So she'd clearly been reading up about it. But it looked like one of those interplanetary Art Deco spaceship type things. It was, yes. But it looked, and it is incredibly tired. It is, it's a relic.
And out the back, it has tennis courts and a running track and all sorts of stuff going on, as we discovered when we walked round the back, where they jettisoned the team to find their own way in with a map.
So the UBB team were welcomed with lots of flags and a tiny walkthrough. I have to say, it's interesting comparing Pau with Bordeaux, because the arrival in Bordeaux was the same for both teams. It was incredibly friendly in Pau. It was incredibly friendly. Yes, there was a bit of banter and lots of shouting and flag waving on the rest of it, but it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. Bordeaux, it was a bit weird. So the UBB team arrived. It wasn't a big crowd waiting for them, given all the effort they were supposedly going to. And then the Saints arrived, basically tradesman's entrance round the back. Very odd. Very, very odd. And getting into the ground, there was I didn't know. I basically followed the media team who'd been there the day before, and even they didn't really know where they were going because, to get to the pitch, it's almost impossible to describe, because you were up. So I asked Liz Tyler, is it worth going in the press room? No, there was no Dazzle merch, no biscuits, no chocolate merch. What was going on? What was going on? And I did take a photograph of. We're going to do a montage of photographs, aren't we? At the end, we've collected a whole load.
Yeah.
So it's worth listening to the end and watching on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, because we took loads of photos of the weekend. Obviously, I took loads of photos, but we
the weekend
between us. The weekend, a la Ladies Wot Pod, will be at the end of this thing, and you can take it all in. And I did get a photograph of Granny and Liam. No, Lenny and Graham even. And they look like they're in prison, because it's like this prison walkway to get to. It was very weird to get to the press room. So they're looking through the bars at me. Very odd. Anyway, to get to the pitch, you had to go down the slope, round a bend, and then when you got to the bottom of the slope, you walked along a long tunnel where you had to then walk up a dozen steps, and you were through into the tunnel area and onto the pitch. It was bizarre, utterly bizarre. And you might wonder, why did the players leave the pitch so early in the warm-up? Well, it's because it must have taken about, 5 minutes to get down all the steps, down the corridor. Really, really very... And then, of course, they've got to come all the way back again. Very, very strange. And And yeah, it's a bit of a tired stadium.
And one of the weirdest things, there was no wine on sale. We're in Bordeaux.
And there is no van.
You have no wine on sale, and they said no. And because we looked, there were only the bars, there was only fizzy beer, and so we found the bodega. We thought there might be wine in there. No wine. And we said, but we're in Bordeaux. And to be fair, the women behind there went, yeah, we know, we don't understand that. So, a bit weird.
Very odd. Very odd. But given Treviso, if you think about it, sell Prosecco by the bottle with plastic flutes, all very odd. So it's not even, I don't know what was going on there. No, I don't know what was going on. It was a good crowd, 34,300 and something or other.
Something, yeah.
But given it was such a big crowd, the sound did not come into the stadium. I mean, I was sat pitch side, obviously, and I've been in grounds that are smaller and noisier because the sound sort of dissipates up and away.
I think, yeah, that's it. There was nothing. I mean, it was nothing like Clermont, but nobody did any bouncing, thank goodness. God, I hate that in Clermont. That makes me. But yeah, they did the singing when they were instructed to sing by the man on the microphone. They didn't do much. Like Clermont, it will suddenly be this groundswell of bounce if you're over Niez, and then they all start bouncing, and it's terrifying. But it didn't come from them. It came from the man on the microphone. It was a bit engineered.
It was a bit Harlequins, wasn't it? It was a bit...
Yeah, it was a bit strange. Yeah.
Yes. And he talked... I know French people talk quickly, but boy, he was in another league. Yeah. It was no idea what he was saying. So it was, there was some, and they had this, so the seats were horrible. They were basically like little plastic things to sit on concrete steps. And you were so wedged in together that I was sitting between the IT department. And I said, we stood up at one point and said, right, we've all got to sit down together. Otherwise this isn't going to happen. So we did that. And, but they couldn't stay. They couldn't stay in their seats. They kept standing up, and I missed most of their tries because they were all standing up. And the bloke in front of me, when he stood up, was taller than me anyway. So it was just ridiculous. I was a bit cross. I was a bit cross with their attitude there, but hey ho, it was what it was. Anyway, our team. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, going into the game, the team. I'm very late. My seat, if that's all right.
Your seat, yeah. Go on then.
So I, after my trauma in Po, when I forgot my seat.
Oh yeah.
The one plus about Bordeaux is if you don't have a seat, they provide you with one. They provide bench seats. Yeah. I didn't avail myself of their seat because I had my fishing stool. And when I sat down, as I said in my social media post this morning, I looked along and Lewis was on the other side. So I was doing one wing and Lewis was doing the other. And in the first half, there was one guy who'd stapled himself to the TV camera on the far side, but there was nobody on my side.
Ah.
So, and that's significant, ladies and gentlemen, as we'll learn when we talk about it.
That is important later. Yeah. So keep that thought in your head.
Congratulate Bordeaux for providing seats. I think that's incredibly sociable.
That is very nice.
Yes. The purple bib of power, I didn't realise its significance.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because...
All hail the purple bib of power.
All hail the purple bib of power. Because what it meant was I could go up and down through the technical areas whenever I wanted to. I could just... Not obviously that I didn't do it during the game, but I could have done, given what I witnessed. And the people in normal photography yellow bibs had to go the other way. They weren't allowed to go anywhere near the tunnel. So at the end of the game, it made things very interesting for me. There were a lot of... I did say to Liz Tyler, the purple bib of power at Bordeaux, they seem to have got a lot of them.
Oh.
There's supposed to be two. So there's one for me and one for Lewis. But at Bordeaux, there seem to be more like a dozen. I don't know how they've managed to get hold of them. but there were a lot. And they
they're
all
champions.
oh, and one guy. There's a thing now about you put your iPhone in a cage and you wander around filming with it. I nearly clocked him one with my camera because he just walked into me. I refused to give my ground. I've learnt in France you don't give your ground. Normally I'd be going, oh, I'm really sorry, but not in France. So he had to go round me. Anyway, but the Purple Bib of Power at Bordeaux, they've got a lot of them. But overall, there weren't actually that many photographers at the game. Most of the Purple Bib of Power wearers were like Lewis. They were social media videographers, not what I was doing. Anyway, yes, enough of that. So the game.
Well, the team. I think the build-up to the game, with the rumours that we heard that Finn Smith and JJ were not on the plane. So what would happen to them? And we go, well, we don't know. We do not have this inside information. But it turned out that...
What's going on, ladies? It's like, I always said to you it would be useful not knowing. Because we genuinely
no idea.
No idea.
So it transpired that they were right, that those two had not been on the plane, and for different reasons. So Finn never appeared in Bordeaux because he got a calf strain. I like to think he and Dingus were watching it together on the telly.
Well, it looked a nice fire in Finn's house, didn't it? Because he posted a picture of his TV and a very nice roaring fire. So I hope he kept warm, yeah.
And so he got a calf strain. JJ had to come out later, differently, I'm not sure, because he was not well. He had the sort of virus that you don't really want to get ever, and certainly not have somebody with that virus on a confines of a plane. Anyway, but he had gone the requisite number of hours without bodily emissions enough for him to be able to come out and to play. Let's put it that way. I don't think we need to go into any more detail. So bless him. So he did. I mean, I think when you have a virus like that, to actually then play 40 minutes at that level is incredible. So special mention to JJ. He did make it. And Anthony, who replaced Finn, because we were having panics at breakfast, were we not? About Hutch, we love you. You know we love you dearly, dearly, but not at 10. Not at a last-minute replacement at 10. It rarely ends well for any of us. So there was a bit of a panic. But I did think the IT department saying I'd rather have Henry at 10 was pushing it a bit. However, had he been named at 10, that would have been so entertaining watching French heads just explode. That would have been marvellous.
Well, they did enough exploding as it was.
They did.
But no, we have the most remarkable story, which the Times didn't quite get right, in Monsieur Anthony Bello, who I've never heard of such bravery and such determination from any player, let alone a Saintsman. Extraordinary story, which began at Quins. We're not going to go blow by blow, pardon the pun, but safe to say, he suffered a facial injury and
safe to say he does not now have as many teeth as he had a week last Friday. Let's put it that way.
You and I don't like the idea of him wearing a necklace made of whichever ones they managed to find.
No.
But he's determined. I mean, if you've seen the photographs, he has a nasty gash. I've got it on the wrong side again. It's on the right side. Nasty gash. But he was absolutely determined to play, and play he did. Extraordinary determination on the part of this Saintsman. So it was our tone, as the Ginger Ninja calls him. Our tone. Tone was at 10, and we were happy.
Yes. And actually insisted. He kind of went to Douse and went, no, I can pick me, I can play, I've got mouth guards made and everything, and he just, bless him. So they went, well, yeah, go on then, off you go. Our secret agent, as the French press described.
The story goes they did have to send a taxi to get his special mouth guard because he forgot it. They went to all that effort and then left it at the hotel. Well done. There you go. So the game. Right.
Let's get this.
Quite evident to you. In fact, even I missed it because I don't only occasionally listen to it. That boy, RefLink is one of the most useful things as a supporter.
Yeah. Yeah.
The English game, it gives itself a kicking regularly. But the grounds that have got RefLink and also this experiment they're doing this season, the referee,
that is brilliant.
Saying what's going on.
Come back to me. Yeah.
Now, I know not everybody at the gardens can see a screen, and that's a source of angst, but those that can, they actually, on the big screen, give what's been given by the referee. So they actually say, knock on or whatever. And they were trying to do that. To be fair, in France, they were trying to do that. They were just a bit slow. But when it got to the more complicated, we had no idea what the discussion was. And it got infuriating in the end because you just, the things were happening in front of you that didn't make sense. Wokey and his try.
And we're taking so long. That was the other ridiculous thing. I mean, like the whining about Danilo's try from Bordeaux that they insisted was reviewed, which was totally ridiculous because it was, you could see from the angle that the ref saw it, it was a perfectly good try. There was absolutely no reason to even question it. But it took them so long to review it. And
why Damien Penaud, who's on the right sodding wing, gets a vote, I've got no idea. Anyway, we're getting further into the game.
We are. We've jumped ahead. We've jumped ahead.
But RefLink, I have to say, having RefLink and being able to hear the referee, I know you TV viewers probably could, but at the ground, we had no idea what was going on, and the arm signals from our Italian referee were a bit wavy-davy on occasion. It's like, what's he saying? And usually I hadn't got anybody to talk to, so the TV cameraman was looking, down his. So I couldn't even go, what was that? Because no, not great. So take a bow, those who are behind RefLink, because it makes a huge difference.
Enormous.
So I think the game is characterised by just a series of uncharacteristic errors.
Yes. Though I did hear from someone close to the camp that the mood from the players were, we made them look better than they were. That it was our errors that they caught onto and exploited, basically. And it was one of those. But to go and get that fourth try that was not a gimme at all, to come away from there with a try bonus point is impressive, because they did not want us to have, hence the whining at the end. But it was blooming whining there was on that in that stadium, because there wasn't any to buy. Anyway, yes, so it was such an important point. Means that we've qualified for the next round, so it's all. And the other thing, nobody has yet won this competition by winning all their games.
No. Now we have missed. Shall we? We're not going to go blow by blow, but we did witness.
No, we're not.
We did witness the Thing of Beauty, created by. Shall I? For those of you on Spotify, you know what I'm going to do. So here he is. Here's the man himself.
Yes, that's
Tone, and he chips the ball across to about there. Here we go. Oh no, I'm trying to. I keep doing that.
What are you doing? Chip away. There he goes.
Chip away. There he is, chipping the ball across. And who does he chip it to?
Henri!
Penaud. He chips it across to Henry, and who chips it to himself, and off he goes. He's away.
Yes, he was away. Oh, that upset the crowd so much.
Upset him as well. Yeah.
Oh, look! I've just stopped there. Can you see who's in the background?
Have you noticed that? For those of you on Spotify, Mrs. Saunders in her lovely new green
Beret.
and there's
And
one
the
IT department, and there's the other IT department. Yeah.
Wow. There we go. Yes.
Yes, there you go. And off goes Henry, talking about there we go. Oh dear, sorry, Monsieur Penno, you missed that one.
Yeah, he was a
there's
bit
more
pissed
of
off.
Monsieur Penno missing Henry later. You'll be pleased to hear, because he and Henry had a and off he goes. Now
that's brilliant. That is.
And scores his try. Now,
and then there was a ruckus.
On Spotify, I'm showing a series of photos. Now, what this twerp was doing, I've got no idea. Get out of the way. Why do you have to get involved in our try celebration? Sod off.
Yes. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Why Mr. Angry got very annoyed and off it kicked. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yes. Feel the energy. What is it about this try celebration that people don't get?
I don't.
It about 50 flipping million times. It's a Manchester United player who, frankly, I don't care who it is. But anyway, it's a guy who celebrated by feeling the pulse, feeling the energy. It's a young person thing.
It's a thing.
He's enjoyed himself, as is Mr. Coles. But I did enjoy this bit. And if, ladies and gentlemen, you see any photos that have Henry doing this, as in quietening the crowd, they're mine.
Yeah, because there was nobody else there.
Yeah, because there was nobody else there. So well done. And then it all, kicks off. Mr. Angry getting well stuck in. I think Mr. Hendy here is sort of trying to make it look like he's helping.
He's doing something, isn't he? He's, I'm there.
Yes,
I'll hold your coat.
I'm getting involved. Yeah, I am there. Fremo is, well, whatever. Yes. But it did mean that our turning referee, look at the furrows on Mr. Angry's face there.
Oof, yeah.
Not good,
Not happy.
Not happy. Anyway, well done, Henry. It was a thing of beauty, and it's now up for try of the round. So get voting, everybody.
Excellent. That's
hilarious that it's try of the round. And yes, there's video, but there aren't any stills. Unless they're mine.
So that was then there was a chorus then of Zombie in your head, Henri, in your head, and the UBB crowd didn't like that at all. We did, however, but it was a very short-lived bit of bliss, really, because then the wheels came off.
Yes,
and then the scrummage. Oh dear God. The scrummage saga started. 7 minutes of blooming scrums and reset scrums and Danilo being given the oak. So the Italian referee and Danilo did not get on. Now, I have a theory that there's some family feud going back possibly thousands of years. That the Italian referee comes from a different part of Italy, or possibly the same part of Italy as Danilo and Tukagin because of something that had happened centuries ago. That's the only thing. So nothing Danilo did was right. It was all his fault. And anyway, eventually he ended up having a yellow card. Manny came on and the ship steadied much more.
That referee... Danilo was about to demolish the technical area. He was so angry.
Well, yes. And that referee, I don't know what he was seeing, but when you see a blue person stand up first... Yeah. Possibly they give them the penalty. I don't know. It was very bizarre and very unfair. Anyway, it happened. It was what it was. When you have the likes of Dan Cole commenting that we were hard done by because of the first try that what's-his-face scored.
With the deliberate knock-on.
With a deliberate knock-on. It was deliberate. He was in no way of being able to catch that. It doesn't matter that he went down rather than forward, obviously forward, and it did go slightly forward anyway.
It did go forward. It was. I mean,
it should have been a penalty to us.
Yeah, But we
So
were too loose, and we were giving them
yeah,
opportunities. So
our line out was not functioning at all in that first half. So it was a bit of a disaster. Um, and, again, a quote about one of our somebody close to the players was saying about a conversation he'd had with actually a mutual friend of ours about the way his son had played at one game. He said, "Well, he had a good game apart from this, this, and this." And this mutual friend of ours said, "You have to remember, he's a very good rugby player, but he is not superhuman." And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we need to remember about our boys. They are very good, very, very good rugby players, but they're not superhuman. And they made errors, and the French made the most of the errors that we made. And one of those, I think, in sport, once the errors start happening, it's really difficult not to keep compounding them somehow, and that's what happened. So yeah,
we
it
didn't
is
stop
what it is.
playing. That's the key thing. We
We
didn't stop
and
playing.
and that when Dowse talks about we learn, we take our learns, we move forward, and we do. And that's I was going to say, 2 years ago, this team would have gone into their shell and would have just rolled over, and it would have been horrendous score. As it was, we chipped away, came back, and it was a 22 point difference. And if you think 2 dodgy tries there, nowhere near as bad.
Now, I didn't get a photograph of Fremo's try because the Bordeaux medic, having the wide open spaces of no photographers at my end, bar me and a lady sat next to me in the second half, decided to stand in front of us. So we missed Fremo's scoring. So I apologise, Fremo, if you might be expecting a photograph, because it was a good, well taken,
Beautiful, yeah.
Beautiful try, but no. What I did get was Monsieur Penot's next exciting sojourn with Mr. Henry Pollock, and I did feel it was a bit unfair of Monsieur Penot to sit on him, but anyway, there we go.
Oh yeah, completely unfair.
Yes, and then he lost it completely because he said Henry knocked on. So,
Yeah,
here is Henry grounding the ball.
Yeah. Now, I think he was trying to claim when Henry had taken the ball from him also. I don't know. It
was a kick through. It was a kick. He never actually made it. It was a kick through from Hutch, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
And at this point, when he's grounded the ball, he does knock on because he hasn't got to worry about it anymore. Sitting on him.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Henry decided, no, I'm going to do my usual and I'll just trot off. Yeah. I do like the fact that Cameron Wokey's looking at Penno as if to go, what are you doing?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So but Monsieur Penno was a bit upset.
I think he was. We don't care.
No, we don't. No, we don't care at all. No. And then they kept going because that was the third try that had gone in. And of course, everybody realised. Now, you might have all wondered, how come Danilo swapped with Manny so late? It's a reversal of the yellow card. It took me
the yellow card.
It's a reversal of the yellow card. And so Danilo comes on. And fair dues to him because, you know, the family feud was put to one side and he focused on getting that precious fourth try. That point could be the most significant in our campaign. It was extraordinary. They were not going to give in, and that's the beauty of this lovely team. They just keep going.
And everything was against them at the time. Everything was against them at this point. It was just like, but I actually felt once we got the third try, I actually thought, no, we're going to get this point. And there's such a steel at the heart of this team that they learn things on the hoof. They learn how to put things right on the hoof. And even though it appeared we hadn't got a plan B, we actually had, and we did what we could against everything that was being chucked at us. And there he is. And even then there was whining.
Oh, God, there was whining. So it's basically the two replacement front rows going toe to toe. And Ben T, Mr. Timothy, I'm sorry, mate. You didn't do the job. You didn't do the job because our boys got over for the try. And what happens now? Can you see a right wing in this photograph? Do you see one?
No, I can't see one there. No.
The tantrum that happened shortly afterwards was just ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Anyway.
Did he actually lie down on the floor drumming his heels, or was that just...
Seriously, Mr. Penno? I don't know. Yes.
I'm higher maintenance than Archie.
Yes, absolutely. But yes, so well done, and well done to Danilo to come on and with Elliot and wee Trev get over for that all important try bonus point.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So, let's put that. The game is done. It's gone to bed. We're in third place. It's up to us now to go and absolutely do one against the Scarlets. Not all the Welsh, just the Scarlets.
Yes.
Sorry, Sherpa too. Not all the Welsh.
Yes. And it is on the field
so
we're talking about. There isn't going to be an invasion. Yes.
No, not at all.
About, we need to do our, as we did against Quins, to secure top spots currently in the Prem, where we just kept playing. We've got to play exactly the same way on Sunday. We've just got to keep playing, play our game, and do what we do. And we're at home, we're not away. And we know in these competitions that, home advantage is important. So we need to make best use of it. Bordeaux, on the other hand, are heading off to Bristol.
Who are tails are up.
We're a bit torn here because we've got two scenarios I think we've worked out. Am I right, Liz?
Yeah, I think probably at least two, but yes, mainly two. Yeah. Well, there's all sorts. If you think about it, they could draw.
Draw would be nice. Yeah. We either we want UBB to stuff Bristol, or we want Bristol to stuff UBB.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what we want to do is to secure second place, which will give us hopefully a home round of 16.
16.
But we'll see. So
we can only do what we can do, which is absolutely Muller Scarlets.
So, worst case, we get another trip in the round of 16.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So, we'll remember to do it this week. Ladies Wot Pod Player of the Match.
Yes.
Well, there is for devotion above and beyond, really, with when you've had major dental work and everything, and the thing was, even with major dental work, stitches in his mouth, he never took a backward step, and that Ladies Wot Pod Player of the Match is our own Anthony. However, we feel there has to be special mention to our Henry, who did Henry things and never took a step back and never cared about them booing him every time he looked at the ball, let alone touched it. And what is that all about? I did get very cross when they were booing him when he was being treated for an injury. And I'm just thinking, look at you. You're a 60-year-old bloke who's done nothing, and you are booing a 20-year-old because he's living his best life. Get over yourselves.
I also don't like, and I didn't like it when I don't like it when our players have done it in the past.
Tousling hair.
The centre rubbing Henry's head when he was down injured. No. No. This sport requires you to respect the opposition. You cannot do stuff like that.
However, on proper positive respect, the meeting that Henry had when he was running out with with Luco.
Yes, Loku. Yeah,
Um,
the
when
scrum.
they scrum
Yeah,
half who'd taken seriously taken against him in the final, but they met up at the launch day, didn't they? The EPCR
yeah,
launch
that's
day,
right.
and they obviously got on really well because there was a big hug from him to Henry. So that was nice to see. Anyway, so special mention to HP and to Manny as well, who came on and steadied the ship in the scrum. I think we got a penalty actually in
We
one of
did.
those 7 minute
Oh yeah, and then we
scrummages.
got a penalty, and the roar from Callum Chick. I'll see if I can find the photo
Yeah,
actually. The roar from
yeah,
Callum Chick, because it was like, the relief um, that at
yeah.
last we got reward for what had been going on. But yeah, but Manny's carrying was superb in the game. It wasn't
It was
just
very, very
that
good. Wasn't just the scrummaging.
it
Yeah,
wasn't just his scrummaging. His
start.
carrying was utterly superb. Now I will find this photo. We need Monsieur to be on the other side. Where's he gone? I'm not going to find it now, am I? Oh no,
No,
that's going to annoy me.
while you have a look,
Well,
I'll just say as well.
Talks about the place. Yeah,
I do. I think Archie McParland coming on as a replacement
yeah,
continued where he left off against Bath and just played. I was going to say with such a level head in that it would have been easy to come on as a replacement and try and do everything, but he played his best game again, and yeah, he's very happy with himself. I had a big hug from him after the game, and he's back to our best Archie, and we're very pleased. I'm really pleased for him because I was quite worried about him, but yeah, so it was. All the replacements. Ed Prowse coming on and playing the second half.
Oh, Ed Prowse was excellent. It was a really
Quietly going about his business, just yeah. So
here is the photo I was thinking of.
yeah. Oh, and I was just seeing TP there. He was a rampaging thing about the place as well,
absolutely everywhere. He was a man possessed. He was not going to be. No, it was. They kept going. I mean, and that's what we needed. They didn't. They will learn. They will learn. I mean, I'd like a little shout out to little Edo, because I think Edo manfully battled up and down that wing with that whinge monster, Monsieur Penaud.
Yeah.
And I think for him, it would have been the equivalent of George Hendy and the tribe at Croke Park. That was his Croke Park. He's 19. Yeah. He won't have played in anything like that. So, Edo, hold your head up high, mate. You'll be back at the Gardens this week. Yeah. So for some of them, we've got teenagers out there who are learning and, little shout out for James Ram, get better soon, who are learning, learning their trade in some pretty tough circumstances. So, well done, Edo. Yeah. But
going from what just going from one end of the spectrum to the other. So Edo playing there at 19 and Courtney watching in the crowd and giving all of them big hugs at the end. He was there up there with where the parents were, and it was
it was absolutely. Elliot and Sammy G, who of course both had fantastic second halves. As did Robbie. Wee Trev, wasn't he? He was good.
Wee Trev. Yeah. All good. Yeah. So
there's lots to take.
Put that behind us.
Yeah, this is a therapy.
Sergeant Wilson. Yeah, Sergeant Wilson.
Well, we've got an unusual entry.
We do have an unusual entry. Yeah, we do.
I did mention to the person concerned when she told me this story. I said, whoa, early entry for the Sgt Wilson there. Yeah. And it's Liz Tyler. For those of you who don't know who Liz is, very important lady. Liz is the team media manager, and she was asked by one of the assistant referees, do you have any energy gels? To which she said, of course. and gave the refereeing team some energy gels. Brilliantly played there, Liz. Brilliantly played. Maybe the wrong flavour given Sir's.
Didn't work, did it? Yeah. Ref didn't like blackcurrant flavour. I wanted strawberry. Something like that.
But well played anyway, Liz. It has to be Callum. It has to be Callum Chick because the number of photographs I've got of him looking at Sir, talking to Sir, talking to the assistant referees. He was very polite. At no stage did he annoy the ref at all. The ref was more than happy to talk to him. We've seen in the past.
And actually, I think when Manny won that, when we won the penalty, it had been after Callum had a Sgt Wilson chat with the ref that maybe he was looking in the wrong place, and then we got a penalty from
like
there.
This?
So I think, yes, that could have been it. Yeah. Oh no, Danilo's still there. That's Danilo still there at that point, isn't he? So yeah,
but he's starting the process. So I think Danilo goes, and a few photos later, the scrum goes the other way. So I think it's a combination of Manny and Callum going, really,
sir, really? Do you think that? So Callum, you get it again. Come back, Dingers, to give him some. Give him a challenge.
Give him a break, poor love. Yes. So, but the trip was fabulous. Everybody, headed off home, wended their weary way home. We're all back in Blighty now, and we start the preparation for the next one. Now, there was something I forgot to mention when we had we do prepare a little bit, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we do. We do.
This week's a very important week because on Friday, it's the former players' lunch.
Oh, it is indeed. Yes, indeedy. Indeedy weedy. Yeah.
I will be there with my cameras, and I'm looking forward because those lunches, it always produces a surprise as to who joins us because we get players from all over the world. Last year, if you remember, it was they did the anniversary, the quarter century of since we won the Heineken Cup in 2000. And so Freddie Mendes, amongst others, appeared on the scene. And if you remember, ladies and gentlemen, Freddie walks around the pitch amongst all the others at half-time during the Munster game and was in tears with the greeting that he got from the crowd. So it's always interesting to see who joins us at the lunch. I'm sure the Stealth CEO and the chairman there, but it'd be interesting to see which players. It's always a good event, and they then head off to some local pub to drink copious amounts of alcohol. And it's just as well it's on the Friday and the match is on the Sunday because then they've got a chance to recover before round 2 happens on the Sunday.
Can I just say, talking about the Stealth CEO and the chairman, I had to do some ad hoc haloing. The IT department and I had to do some ad hoc haloing because they were lost, but we knew where they'd got to go because we'd walked past that.
Well done, Mrs. S.
So, here to help, always. Not necessarily
help. The IT department were famous. They appeared on whatever
they did. Yeah, something. I don't know what it was.
Yes. Anyway, some bunch who I met in the press room and wondered who they were, but they were filming at the ground. And well done to Penny and Dr. T, my half of the IT department, for doing a sterling job of describing the food at the ground. One of the guys took it upon himself, I think, to actually try every type of food at Sir Franklin's Gardens.
Oh, kept him busy.
His waistline will be.
Yeah, I think he was quite well built before, to be honest.
Yes, he was a well built gentleman. Yes, but he certainly enjoyed the hospitality of the village. So well done.
Two other things on my list that we haven't mentioned so far was George Hendy, Player of the Month.
Ginger Ninja, well done to everybody who voted for him. The Ginger Ninja is the Saints Player of the month. I'll get my teeth in. Month, yes, well deserved, absolutely well deserved. Stellar performance.
And the under 18s and under 17s were playing up at Newcastle, and mixed results. Under 18s lost, under 17s won. Well done, everybody there.
Yeah,
that's it really. And I think that's everything on my list.
I think it's everything. I think we're
actually, I actually have a book. I have a book of.
Yeah.
You see, I have a list. You think it's thrown together, ladies and gentlemen?
No, ladies and gentlemen, we do actually have a chat before.
Yeah.
What I didn't mention was I have my new lens.
Oh, your new lens arrived, didn't it?
Yes, it got a tryout in training, and then it got a tryout on Sunday, and it was chalk and cheese for its elderly predecessor. So that'll be back out at the gardens. I have to say the weather was incredibly kind to us at the game, because
Lord, it was, wasn't it?
Everybody could have got very wet. There isn't much cover at the stadium, so which I was warned about by Liz Tyler. So I put the message out on the WhatsApp, and ponchos, I seem to recall, were being fished out.
Poncho was taken.
Yeah,
poncho was taken to Bordeaux, but fortunately,
it wasn't
didn't need it because I worry that it might attract raccoons. But it was all right. No raccoons were seen.
And the other thing was, of course, because we were so far south, the sunset time was later.
It's later. Yeah, it was really weird. Well, we discovered that on the Friday when we fell out of the Bedford bar at 5 o'clock, and it was still light.
Yeah.
Oh, this is horrible. We'll have to go back in the bar. So
so I was quite grateful for that. The lights were great, I have to say. They were very good. Although they were a bit weird because they were sort of down the side. They were sort of tall, stanchiony things down the side, so they produced quite an odd light. But they worked okay. But it did actually get quite dark towards the end of the game, because we had actually, by the end of the game, the sun had set.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite nice having such a long period with lights. It was, which won't of course be the case on Sunday. We'll be back to it'll be something like
To be fair, it is getting, the days are pushing out.
They certainly are. They certainly are. But us photographers, we do like to moan about light. There's either too much of it or not enough of it.
Never happy. Unless...
We're always having a whinge. We haven't got DR at the moment because he's off on his holidays. He always takes a holiday at this time of year, so he's not doing any European games. So we won't see him on Sunday, which would be a shame. I'm interested to Getty actually send. But I think, unless you tell me otherwise, Mrs. Saunders,
I can't think of anything else. I think we're just regroup, ready for Sunday. I'll be there haloing. Come and say hello. Hello to the halos. And here's up and at 'em. Thank you all for listening. And that is the end of episode. One more.
It's not quite the end. Enjoy the little montage of photos.
Oh, yes. There's a montage of photos. Then it'll be the end.
So coming up. And of course, for those of you on Spotify, you'll just hear some music. So enjoy the music if you're not looking. But there'll be a little montage of photos taken by the IT department, me, Liz. Enjoy seeing our weekend.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. One day I'll remember where this sodding button is.